for pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation. Since 1975, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Good morning to Tommy Thornton, Pastor Tommy Thornton from Wigufka Worship Center. And I had an opportunity to work a service with Brother Tommy yesterday, and he and I rode together to the cemetery, and he's just a fantastic guy. And he was telling me of how many funerals he had done last year and the year before last. The guy knows numbers. And but a fantastic gentleman, and always enjoy working with Brother Tommy. And I want to wish him a great day today and his family. Brother Tommy Thornton and the church family at Wigufka Worship Center. It's 7 minutes before the hour. Obituaries this morning brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mr. William Hardy, age 68, of Harpersville. He died on Sunday at Shelby Baptist Medical Center. Funeral service will be Friday at the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home at 1 p.m. Visitation will be tonight at the Childersburg Chapel as well. Mr. William Hardy, age 68, of Harpersville, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Mrs. Margaret McCarthy passed away at Village of Cook Springs, and that funeral service will be Saturday at 1 o'clock, celebration of life service for Mrs. McCarthy, and that will be at 1 with the visitation from 11:30 until 1, all at the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Mrs. Margaret McCarthy of Vincent. That service will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Mrs. Ruby Ingram, age 70, died on Monday night in Houston, Texas. Mrs. Ingram's body will be flown into Birmingham this afternoon, and funeral arrangements to be set by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel. Funeral service for June Winters, age 83, of Sylacauga, will be Friday at First Presbyterian Church in Sylacauga at 11 a.m. The Reverend Charles Sims, along with the Reverend Jeff Adams, will officiate burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Visitation is this evening from 4 until 7 o'clock at Curtis and Son North. And of course, June was a long-time writer, and she's actually a celebrity in our community. June Winters, a terrific writer, and also she did cookbooks and shared her recipes with thousands upon thousands of folks who love to read her columns and present her recipes for different dishes. And June Winters, age of 83, died Monday, January 22nd in her residence. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Presbyterian Home for Children. Online condolences at curtisandSonFH.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel in Sylacauga, directing the funeral service for June Winters, age 83. And she passed away at her residence on Monday. That funeral service again Friday at 11 a.m. from First Presbyterian Church in Sylacauga, with burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation tonight at Curtis and Son North from 4 until 7. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Martha Oden, age 69, died January 24th in Sylacauga. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega will announce the funeral arrangements later for Jesse Fuller, age 99. Jesse Fuller died January 23rd. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, directing. Celia Lightfoot Cooley died January 23rd. A lifelong resident of Alexander City, was born in 1923. After graduating from Alexander City High School, Celia attended the University of Montevallo, where she received her BA degree. She taught 2 years in Alexander City High Schools, and was a member of the First United Methodist Church in Alexander City. Graveside service will be Saturday at 11 a.m. from Alexander City Cemetery. The Reverend Mike Dinsmore will officiate. The family receiving friends Saturday morning from 9:30 until 10:30 at the funeral home. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that contribution be made to the First United Methodist Church, 310 Green Street, Alexander City, or to Children's Harbor, 1 Hour Children's Highway in Alexander City. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Ronnie Martin, age 62, will be Friday at 11 a.m. from Armour's Memorial Chapel in Alexander City. Mr. Martin passed away January 20th at Lake Martin Community Hospital. Armour's Memorial Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Modesta Adamson, age 87, of Alexander City, is today at 3 o'clock from Hillview Memorial Park. Dr. Matt Haynes officiating. Mrs. Adamson died January 22nd at Chapman's Nursing Home. She was a member of the 6th Street Baptist Church. In lieu of flowers, the family prefers that memorial contribution be made to the building fund at 6th Street Baptist Church, 2324 6th Street in Alexander City, Alabama. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at raddyfuneralhome.com. Raddy Funeral Home directing. Homegoing celebration for Ruth Swain Coleman, age 86, at 11 o'clock today at Mount Cleveland Baptist Church, with interment in the Mount Carmel Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary, Talladega directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Nancy Riley Nixon, fondly known as Mimi, will be Friday at Ursery Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega, beginning at 1:30. Burial in the Eureka United Methodist Church Cemetery. Visitation will be Friday from 12:30 to 1:30 before the service. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Mrs. Nixon was a member of the East Lake United Methodist Church, where she sang in the choir and served as a soloist and worked in the youth programs. She also served as pastor's wife at many Northeast United Methodist churches and was employed by First National Bank in Talladega. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, Alabama, in charge of the arrangements. These obituaries, a presentation of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation, call 256-245-4361. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.